is the second segment of our class. Okay, so how to choose your goddess. The first thing you need to know is you want to you don't choose. You allow her to do the choosing. You allow her to do the choosing. That's the first thing. Now, so when it comes to the goddess, of course, how would she choose you if you're not in her line of sight? So you have to make sure that you are more so recognizing the type of goddess that you want, and you are making sure that you are the type of man that she will want. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make yourself available for her to choose. So that means if she is working in this field of study, you want to make sure you are making yourself available for her to even get to know you. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be the one that's going to say, well, okay, I've been speaking with you, and these are the certain qualities I really admire. You know, are you seeing anyone? And she's going to initiate and basically ask you these particular questions. You want to make sure that she sees you, though. So you have to be in her path in order for her to choose you. You cannot just think that you're going to sit home and women are just going to be in your inbox, because that's not how it's going to go. Okay? That's not how it's going to go. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to know what it is you're looking for. You want to know what you desire from that relationship, okay? So basically, what purpose does your relationship serve? Okay? What is the purpose of connecting with that woman? Like, what is it for? Because if it's for your sense gratification, then that's not pure love now, is it? Right? So let's be sure to ensure that if you have an interest in a particular goddess, it's for a reason. You see a higher purpose. You know, you can accomplish something. There's a mission that you can achieve with that goddess, and you feel she can propel you to the next level. That's what you need to be looking for. Not so much because you find her attractive and you just want to, you know, get the bumping and grinding. Like, that can't be just the only thing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to evolve or transcend past our base desires, okay? We don't want to do that, okay? So we need to understand what is the role of man and woman. If I was to ask you guys, what's the role of man and woman, what would you tell me? Go ahead and type it in the comments. I want to know what the roles are that you think the man and woman are supposed to have in a relationship. What are the roles? I want to know what you guys think. So the man's role, the woman's role is to bring him to source. The man's role is to create the man's role is to create a safe haven on earth. Okay? So these are our divine roles, and this is what we're supposed to do in a relationship. Okay, so I know you guys are going to say, you know, the man is supposed to protect and provide, the woman is supposed to nurture and you know, help him or whatever. But her actual role is not just to be his helpmate, because that's what a lot of us get that idea from you know, from the Bible, but it's to bring him the source. So she is responsible for your enlightenment. Okay, so if you are not enlightened, if you don't allow her to enlighten you and you're fighting her all the time because you want her to submit to you and listen to you all the time, you're not going to elevate in consciousness, because you're not allowing the person who has the connection to source to be able to guide you in that way. Okay, so because you are the ruler of the physical, she is the ruler of the unmanifest or the non-physical. Okay? We both rule different things. We both have strength in different things. So there has to be a respect for the woman and what she can offer and bring you. A lot of times in this particular society, we demean the woman so much that we don't get from her what we're supposed to, because we're so busy trying to tell her to submit. Listen to me. I'm the leader. I know this. I know that. Right? But you don't even give her a chance to tell you anything, or give you any guidance, or tell you if that any of the dealings you're trying to make is beneficial to you or not. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to be able to be open and, you know, be able to listen to what she has to say. Okay, so when it comes to the whole submission thing, submission is something that anyone is capable of doing. It's not allocated to the woman only, just because we may deem her as the weaker sex. But because she may be physically smaller in stature, does not mean that she is weaker in the spiritual sense. So she's stronger in the spiritual sense while you're stronger in the physical sense. Okay, so she made sure that you were strong so that you can protect her. Okay, so that's pretty much what that's for. So we just have to understand what our roles is, what how we can benefit from each other. So when we are choosing mates, this is what we should think about. This is what we should think about, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 4 things to look for, because a lot of times when it comes down to the black woman being God, I know that men, when it comes to your relationship, you don't even know how to go about it. You don't know how to go about knowing the black woman is God and then choosing a goddess for yourself to commit to. I know a lot of you want to serve and worship a goddess, but you're kind of just like, since all women are God, you're kind of just going and throwing yourself into a role and not, using your discernment. You're not choosing properly. So you're not recognizing who the goddess is before you're just looking at her gender. So it's not so much about her gender, but it's about her elevation of her consciousness. It's about her spiritual connection. It's about her state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Let me write down the 4 states of consciousness, right? So I want you to understand this. Now, this can be good for both sexes, for both genders, right? For both genders, this is the 4 states of consciousness. Okay, the 4 levels of consciousness. Now, both men and women, you can apply this and you can use this to discern who would be the best partner for you, okay? Now, just because men and women, we are all, descended from the Almighty, right? We're all descended from Source. We all have God in us, right? It makes sense. But some of us are high vibrating and some of us are not. Some of us are activated in divine knowledge of self, and some of us are not. So we have to be able to make a decision based on what would be healing for us. Again, love is healing. Remember that. So if love is healing, we have to be discerning in who we give our energy to and what we subject ourselves to. We cannot just be with anybody just because we don't want to be alone. Sometimes it's better to just be alone if you are not right in front of anyone who exhibits the qualities in which you're looking for. It's okay to be alone and prepare yourself, get yourself ready. Okay, so the 4 levels of consciousness, and let's say 1. Okay, I'm just gonna, it's very easy, like, because I'm speaking to men, but women can apply this as well. So we have woman. I just made these names up just for demonstrative purposes, but there's just 4 levels of consciousness, and I'm just giving them just names so that we can kind of understand that there's different levels, okay? There's different levels to enlightenment. And when you are choosing, right? When you are choosing, and you can make this for man as well. So what I'll do is, I'll make this for man as well, just so that we can kind of have a better understanding, because there are goddesses in here. So there's different levels. Now, in the conscious community, right, everyone is calling themselves king or queen, right? Or everyone is calling themselves God or goddess. So this, a lot of times, it is self-appointed titles. Now, we're not going by what anyone calls themselves, okay? I want to be very clear. This is not just self-appointed titles. To determine this, you would have to look at their actions, listen to what they say, and see how they handle situations, okay? So you would have to use your discernment to figure out what level of consciousness they're on despite what they say, okay? Because there's a lot of goddesses who exhibit woman tendencies, or there's a lot of queens who have goddess energy. It's crazy. But yeah, so the prince or princess, right, they are in a light sleep, okay? They're in a light sleep, and they're religious, but they're mature in a sense where they know how to communicate their emotions. They take time to go to therapy and things like that to heal some of their childhood traumas. So they're good, upstanding citizens in society, right? But they have not awakened to any conscious heights outside of what they were taught, and they subscribe to the Matrix program, and that's pretty much where we're at there. Okay, so they still believe that, you know, voting, that this country is a democracy. Okay, they still believe that doctors are here to heal, and they still believe that pharmaceutical companies have the best interests at heart for your body. Okay, so it's just certain things that is right there. Okay, so the king and queen, they're at the conscious level. So here, this is where people start to begin to be conscious, okay? And this is when they become aware they are for Black power, Black love. We see the things that's happening. We are now awoken to the way this country treats us, has treated us. We understand all the holidays and their origins. So these are the people who stop celebrating certain holidays, you know what I'm saying? And they start, you know, understanding certain things, but they're still at a lower level of consciousness to the point where they're still at the point of victimhood. Okay, so they're angry. Okay, rightfully so, you should be. But there is a higher level after that. So this is where we are enlightened. Okay? This is the goddess who's enlightened. She's ascended. She is the one who understands her power. She's the one who knows that she has the power to manipulate her reality through her mind. Okay, the queen and king doesn't know this yet, so they still feel like victims of white supremacy. Now, the goddess and God have reached the elements, they have reached the level where they know that they have power over their lives. They know that they can create their reality and manipulate it to their liking. Okay? So these are the different levels of consciousness, and you can kind of just tell from the way someone talks, what they're talking about, their philosophical beliefs, you know, how they handle certain situations and conflicts. You can tell what level of consciousness they're on, and then you can choose from there. So when it comes to when it comes to a man, you guys seeking, you believe the Black woman is God, and you're seeking a goddess to be in your life with you, you know, romantically, you would want to go for a goddess. You don't want a queen, princess, or woman, because she's not going to be able to elevate you any more than you already are. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that the goddess that you choose has the ability to elevate you consciously. Okay, so you want someone who understands her direct connection to source. Okay, her direct connection to source. This is who you want, and that's how you choose. Okay, that's how you choose. So you make sure that you have discerned who this is. You know what you want out of the relationship, and you're like, okay, this is the one who can enlighten me. This is the mission that she has. She has a vision for her life. She knows what she wants out of a relationship. I want those same things. I think I have an interest in this one. I think I want to attend her classes or participate and support her business so that she can see me. Once I start supporting her business or whatever she's doing to help the community, because a goddess would be doing that, she would be a healer. Whatever she's doing to try and heal the masses, I want to be a part of her work. Let me make sure I come to help her and be a part of her work. And then once she sees my qualities, she sees my strengths, she sees the things that I can offer her to help, then she may, be open to being in a romantic relationship with me. Okay, so this is how you have to go about choosing relationships. You do not choose relationships off of your physical needs, okay, or base desires. You don't want to choose your relationships off of that. That's not how we do things. That's how we end up with having children, because the sex is good, so we do the nasty a lot, and then we have kids, and then the relationship ends because we have not grown to work together or elevate together, so we don't know how to do that. And then since we don't know how to do that, we can't elevate together, we separate. It causes friction in our relationship, and then we have to separate, and now our child has to go between homes, and that's if we're even in their lives. The child may be, with a single parent. So that's a lot of what's going on in our community right now. And what we need to understand this system. We need to understand this. What I'm telling you, we need to understand what love is. Once we understand love is healing, we know what's love and what is not love. We know who loves us and who does not, right? And then we understand how to choose our goddess. We understand what goddess is. We understand what goddess is, right? So if the black woman is God, we want to make sure we're recognizing who it is, what she has in store for us, and we understand what qualities she exhibits, and from her understanding how she can help us achieve enlightenment. So this is what we're going to do, and this is how everyone should go about, choosing a partner. Everyone should go about choosing a partner this way. If you're not going about choosing a partner this way, it's most likely to fail. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it will. Okay? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alpha Musa. Yes, thank you so much. It always fails. It always fails. This society that we live in, it's what? Women are taught to be wives. Men are taught to be promiscuous, sold their royals, right? So because they set men up to fail from the beginning. From the beginning, men are set up to fail. They don't teach you how to take care of children, because a little boy is not supposed to have little baby dolls, right? Because then he would be gay, and then you don't want him to be too feminine. So because society teaches our men to reject their feminine, they don't even know how to identify what that is. And since they are so disassociated with the feminine, they don't even know how to connect with the feminine. You can't connect with the feminine outwardly if you aren't connecting with the feminine inwardly. That's pretty much what it is. You have to connect inwardly in order to connect outwardly. So that's why the outward connections fail, because the inner connections is non-existent. It's non-existent. So have to be more cognizant about the decisions that we make, okay? The decisions that we make. So what I'm gonna do is, the next thing I'm gonna do after this is I'm gonna go over this particular book, okay? The book that I'm gonna go over is called, it's actually two books, but it's by the same author, T. Erica Patterson. Okay, so she made a series of books about loving female-led relationships. And I think our men struggle with this so much because, again, our men have a disposition to want to show that they're masculine. It's like they have to prove that they're masculine to themselves, to society, to the white man, to the women in our community. So you don't have to do that. We know that you're men. We know that you're masculine. You over-masculating yourself is actually a problem, okay? So what it does is when you over-masculate yourself and then you place this unrealistic expectation on other men, so the men who want to love women, revere women, the men who want to worship women, they want to take care of women financially, and place their desires as priority for them. You look at that man as bad, like he's a simp, like he should not be, it's less masculine for him to take care of a woman or care for her in that manner. Okay, so this class is for those men who want to do that, for, you know, the simps of our society. Okay, we're catering to the simps right now, okay? Yes, I'm going to leave this live up. I know it's pretty long, but I'm going to leave this live up. This is the last section of, this is the last section of the live. So, yes, I'm going to leave this live up, and I'm also going to put it on my YouTube. So, if you're not on the YouTube, please press the link in my bio, and it will take you to my YouTube page, and you will see all of my lives and any videos I make in between lives, because sometimes I make YouTube videos in between lives depending on what information I want to bring out and talk to you about. Okay? Right, absolutely. So we're going to talk about male submission.